a few minutes late here. I wanted to be right at 1 o'clock, but I had to listen to my jam in there when the levee breaks. And so we've been talking about the stuff on the set, what it really means, because the real show is in your energy, your emotional body, and the 9 spot, God, your spirit, and your energy and emotions. But yeah, when the levee breaks, that's when the water, Noah's flood, and that's what happens, and that water washes away the pain, right? I just love when I take that rag and I squeeze it and I see that dirt going down the drain. So satisfying. And so yeah, I didn't get a chance to go on last night. So since we've talked, Thursday night football game and the Wi-Fi signal, and I was like, oh, I can get it on the computer. It was on the NFL Network. Nobody gets it. We would have had to walk to a bar. I was like, found Sean's. He's got a radio in there. You just crank it up, and then it plays. So we had the sound. Indians were on the TV, and my laptop, I couldn't get the visual of the game, but it didn't really matter because it's symbolic of the real show is our little family here. And but I did actually need Shell to come over because the password. And I tried to put it in on my phone. She gave it to me for this phone, and then my other phone, I went over there, I couldn't do it. Just didn't hook up. So, yeah, Thursday night, we needed her here. But the good excuse on the set was that. It all lined up, and we just had a great night. The game is symbolic of the real show amongst us. And so... today, Shell and I bounced doing our errands. It's like we're like best friends because the energy's changed. It's my paternal. I want to protect her and help her and tell her that with her life, and so we're just having a great time. And these guys, where Sean works now, she worked there, got bounced, and we went to the post office and then into Lucky's grocery store, and she got bounced from there. And, but she, when she met Bob was our manager. He really cares about her, and so you have your actual biological parents probably will hurt you, but then other ones fill in. I shook his hand, and I could tell he really cared about her, and that's a family. Of course, I couldn't see his face. I might not recognize him because he's muzzled up, but I looked him in the eye, and so that real love is that the Father above doesn't give up on you. That when we come down here into this realm and we agree to play this game, with the emotional strings you get in here and you're still holding on to them and finding things on the set to get angry at. And so this one's been like decades in the making, and Sean's anger, he's just throwing shit away to clean it up, but it was like all in preparation because we're playing the game at the 1-2 or the 9 and the 6 together. We conspired to come in here, and so yeah, this is a real challenge, and the goo and getting into those corners is just unbelievable. But I remember growing up, I was angry. It's like Molly's night to do the dishes, and Molly's night to rinse the dishes, and then my night to clean the dishes, and Molly and Dad, Dad make a big greasy display for dinner, and I was like, Dad, why can't you just clean up as you go? Then there's not so much to do at the end, but that's not what it was really about, right? And Molly and Dad would just sit at the kitchen table, just gabbing, and those dishes were over there getting on my nerves. I try to wait them out, see if anybody's going to clean this stuff up, but we'll call it the 9-6 spot up in the balcony. They knew that was irritating me, and I would eventually snap, and I always did just clean it up, and once I was mad about something again, and I just cleaned that kitchen like down to the core. And I think Carrie was there in the scene too, Dad's second wife. They were married from 1980, so I think she left in 87. And I remember when they walked in the kitchen, I'm like, whoa, wow. Did you feel it, that cleanliness? Even the people that have come over here, they're used to coming in, and they're like, oh, wow, it's a little bit nicer in here. Of course, John's going to come home, and they're going to run his game, but moving my shit. And but now we have an awareness of that. And Shelly's going to come over here at 2:30, around there. We'll when we don't plan times, we say, yeah, maybe watch football. So I want to get some things here ready, make that a little bit nicer experience, and that's what's coming on now, because this thing that's going on in me, like the second wave that's on the set of COVID, I don't think it's come out yet, but I thought maybe today, it's September, 19, then that 9 hits at 10, that's a symbolic 19th cervical vertebrae. That's what's on the set. It's kind of funny in the light cage, because that 9-6, we're all playing that game around it, and then down here, we are antagonizing each other, and from that spot, it's interesting. But if I was down here, I might be just getting mad. It would still be funny, but we'd be playing that game. I know I'll move something, Sean just march it right back to where it was. So I'm like, well, two can play that game. So I'll put stuff down in the basement. I'm like booby trap it a little bit so he can feel my pain. What's in there? You never know. It's fascinating to me. It's interesting stuff, and it's like crazy stuff. And so when he goes to get it, he'll get a little taste of some medicine. Big news today, because I'm cogitating on her house. She wants to sell it, and then what I got to do here. And but we got word today that the outfit that refurbishes these and fixes them up, and somehow it's tied to Urban Meyer. So that's probably the real reset. But they're going to move ahead and buy her house. I got to put $50,000 into it, but it's worth that much, So that's a load off of my worry stick over there. I'll miss that big backyard, but it's going to take a couple months for all that to go down. And I met Shelly's dad yesterday. He's no nonsense. Another fill-in for her, the father that she got wounded by, and her mom was twisting those screws too on her. But that's what happened to them, right? And then they just grow up, and then up here, it's called the two spot, the two eyes that are observing the light show down here. But they're not aware of the third spot. The pineal gland comes in there, and there's so that's that good news. She's got an eyeball in a spot closer to work, so cut her commute by 2/3. Makes sense. We still have 3 rooms, too many rooms, but got the dog backyard and it's clean, right? She's like, I can't clean all this. I'm just gonna move, bounce, and it'll get taken care of. So that's good news. And oh my gosh, well, tobacco. Tie this one in with tobacco. I knew I'd have to start a little bit early because it's 1 o'clock, and what I'm going through. It's like grinding wheels. It's but so I'm just vlogging my experience as I go through here, and then pick up stories and laugh. Really, it's up in the balcony. Everything is hilarious. It just doesn't feel like that down here. There's you got all that in you, and you're not the two's not aware of that, and that you can let that go, make peace with it, and heal it, and then really enjoy the scene just as it unfolds before you. Shelby's like, well, what game are we going to watch? And I was like, well, let's look in there and see and pick one out. But right, that's not what it's about. The game's symbolic of her and our relationship. That's why there's going to be any fans, because that's the 9-6 is all around us. We conspired. That's the conspiracy. Together, we breathed Spira to come in here and play this, experience this realm. So that's why I'm on at 1 today to give the update. Yesterday, Shell and I were bouncing, went to the Mexican restaurant, and yeah, not too bad, mask, but then you sit down in the booth and you're free. Waiters mask, but we were laughing, and pretty normal. So when this was starting, I was like, do I stop eating now, or do I stop drinking now? And he was like, no. And I was like, really? And because it was for this, so we have pizza over here, and you have to have excuses to spend time together, watch the game, eat, right? Go to the Mexican restaurant. So everything that happens now is just sort of a pleasure, right? You got those easy tops out of that Pia dome. Shell got caught on they stick that thing up there and they poke you. We're doing that to each other. Poke them in there, right up in their pineal, because it is pretty hilarious up there. And then, when you go out, the worst thing that could ever possibly happen to you is you get pulled up by God and you see it all golden, and then you're attached in your one life. And you don't want to go back down there from the near-death experiences and stuff that I've discovered. And but only a child could dream it's stuff that is afraid of anything. And I saw that in Como Park over there 9 years ago. Hey, brother.
Hey, how you doing?
Anything for us today?
No, nothing for you today.
Nothing today. No mail today. I get a day off. God bless. Mailman. You can notice the weather for the next week. Right now, we're collectively, that's ours. That's part of our realm. There's nothing out there that's not in you, connected to you. So, my birth number is to be a leader. So it's going to zap me first. And my role in life would be to help give back, be of service. I met Shell's dad for just a minute. He's 70, Vietnam vet. But he was on his way out, but then he came back, man. He looked like a 22-year-old, man, physically. He's like Robert Duvall, man. He's got the steely blue eyes, intimidating. And but I couldn't wait to meet him, and I just shook him, looked him in the eye, and he's thinking, oh, here's another one of Shell's boyfriends, right? Like, get a little different zap. I'm just helping out, I said that's what friends do. And he's churches in his set, and I was like, oh, good, because those things in the Bible don't make much sense when you're just reading them on the set. And then Becky she's asked a couple, what is your religion? And it's the question of all questions. And like, how do you go about trying to explain what that is? I mean, if you just kind of get it all around the sides. So this is for you too, Becky. And but the tobacco, because I had an interesting relationship with it. When I come out on the set, I hated it, man. Everything about it, I hated. It's hurting your lungs, and driving to Florida, parents smoking. My Aunt Sue would smoke, and it just knew it irritated me. And I rolled down the window, but of course that's where the smoke went right by my nose. And I was like, I can't get rid of this. So I took like two drags of tobacco in high school just because I wanted to know, and it's like, ugh. I remember one of Christie's Sonus's. The names don't come when I'm in this state, but I'll pick them up later. But Lewis and I had another. We never went to school together, but we really enjoyed each other's company. We're at a party over there, and I was like, what are you smoking all the time? And he's like, I only smoke when I drink, but I'm always drinking. We had a good laugh on that one. In college, my college friends started smoking. It was irritating me, and I even wrote the letter of intent, and I applied for graduate school coming out of there, and that was my quality. I was an independent thinker, and my friends were smoking, but I never smoked, and so I applied to some schools, and I got in a couple, but it just didn't feel right. And but 4 years later, I applied again, and I was just 2 schools. And one of those letters went to Nebraska, and Brittany and I took a driving trip, and I remember going to that guy's office, and obviously he was a tobacco user. I was like, this is a little awkward, but he's cool, like older, and then so there was that, and then got together with my high school buddies up Quinn's in upstate New York. Runs a marina. We had some great times up there, and but I was drinking. I could take, have a little tobacco, and they're like, well, Wags, you get with Brian all this time in college. I was like, well, nobody told me it was fun. So, I dabbled with it a little bit, come back. I was down in Ecuador 2002 or 3, and I was trying to, as part of my party set there, 2001, I was playing with it out visiting Jennifer in L.A., and that's when you couldn't smoke inside the bars now. And it was called Coming In. It was a new thing. Like, it hit there first. Everything seems to hit L.A., New York, Chicago, and then trickles out. But it's kind of nice because we're in that noisy club, and they're like, oh, you got to go outside to smoke. And you actually think and hear and see people, and that's what you had in common. I was like, oh, that's a good part of it. But I was still thinking, oh, it's such a bad thing. But we're so powerful, if you think it's a bad thing, then it's a bad thing. And if you think it's a good thing, it's a good thing. And so, a little bit here and there. And then I was trying to, I smoked when I wasn't drinking. I was like, oh, I just felt sick, man. I was like, this just sucks. And but I was reading a lot of that Native American literature. Who knows how much of that history is? It's not what it was, but that was a theme in it. Black elk, or a lot of those. And these cats wouldn't even fucking tie their moccasins without doing a peace pipe ceremony. I mean, I was like everything. So I was like, it must be kind of important. And then I saw the chemtrails, and I was out with Rob. I left Helen's there in New Mexico, 2009, in February. Cold, man. Me and Rob went out to that farm, lived on that barn, and it was like minus 15, man. That was a challenge. At one point, we had it was like I had to go to the airport because I was going to go back to Ohio for a visit, and it was so fucking cold. I was like, Rob, let's just get in the car and just drive. I was going like 40 miles an hour on the highway. There wasn't nobody around. Like 3 in the morning, and just make that 1 hour trip, man, turn it into 3 just so we could stay warm in the car. But when I was out there in those woods with Atticus, I just got a real big like smack on the head, like that. Get that. I was like, really? Tobacco? And because I would need it. Now I'm seeing that. What that was for. And I always drop that book on people. Smoke screens. The actual facts and the evidence doesn't line up, right? The facts of the crime don't match the murder scene. I got a song on that. Music's going to be a little bit off because not that phone I had to do it just went dead. I don't know. Oh, dead. So the scene, we think it's out there separate from us, but we're actually hallucinating, dreaming, everything that is in our set. When I got here, the refrigerator situation, Molly, no, and I knew too. When I first started on Facebook, I was over here at this very house, looking out the door, and the light was hitting me, and it was just a cool picture. It should still be here in Facebook somewhere, but it's like my first profile pic, because it was like angelic, the light. So that just another piece of this puzzle. But there was the big fridge, but temperature only held at 47 degrees, and it's leaking all over the place. And there was another little fridge sitting on top of a speaker, and that was the cold fridge for the seafood for Sean. Like that was the operation. And then just now, I looked at he's got a thermometer right in there. I was like, let me check the temp on this. It feels kind of cold, and it's 40 degrees now, and there's not too much water coming out. Still looks atrocious, but it works. I told that story the other day, these chairs, and this one's about to break. Sean's like, I'm not done with it yet. But we moved the chairs there, and he was glad to go sit on that broken chair, And so I said, well, I got to get another refrigerator in here. But, it works for right now. So I'm not worried about that. Just enjoying the set, not trying to make things happen out there, fighting the samadhi. That's where you get some frustration, because you think it's separate from you. Michelle should probably go over. And then when I was in the loony bin, I noticed like everyone smoked, like every single person there, with that moving that nozzle around, and comes out as erratic behavior. And even remember one guy, he's like, no, I don't smoke, it's a bad thing. And I was like, really, dude? And next thing, sure enough, that smoke break, he was smoking. Hey, I'm doing my sermon. Do whatever you want in there. Oh, okay. Yep, bowls. Got plenty of bowls anywhere. Feeding the neighborhood cat. Collectively helping. He comes out, he just looks right at you. He doesn't like perform anything, he just looks right at you. Bob. She stopped calling him Bob because he wouldn't go in there and be her cat. But Bob the cat, another Bob. A lot of Bobs. So yeah, I don't have to really do anything. I'll probably do something over there tomorrow. Her moving. Because my registration, I can't do that until Monday, the 21st, the equinox. When I can't work until I get that updated. So, okay, I'm free. Free for that. When I'm doing like my 10 things around here, and get the clock check to make everything happen, and the last little thing is to get a little tobacco, because the properties of it, every cell in your body has a nicotinic receptor, but it turns out that the ones inside of the pia dome in your brain it's slightly different, and that's where that nicotine actually has that effect. It speeds the cognitive flow. It makes you more intelligent, think clearer. I mean, it's probably not monooxidase is, just the oxygen, taking that inhale is part of it too. You get that, that's what you're addicted to. But pretty, I mean, so on the set, there's way overpriced. They got some poisons in the filter, all that. But I just get it from in a big leaf, and you got to break it up. It's like knitting for men, like, I get that pleasure of just working on things, a little fine detail. So that's the way I do that. And you can't chain smoke that, because it's strong, really strong. And but that was the last little thing I needed. Get this wired up, put that in. So if you're feeling bad about that and you're struggling with it, and well, that's just, you're out there on the set and it looks bad and I should quit. But that's in your emotion. If you feel that, to become more aware of where those emotions are and what they might really represent. When that anger comes out, the 9s and 6s, we're all like, because we're experiencing that together as one collective life. That awareness is from the set. That's you. You're protected. And then in the light show, it can be harrowing. The Thunderdome, right? I was all up in that shit, man. Mel Gibson and me flying around, and I was like, fuck yeah. And but it's symbolic of being in this realm, light show, and a little bit more on the that when I was walking Atticus down there in the park, I was just buzzing along, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. I never noticed this before, and I was hovering, attached on my 19th cervical vertebrae and my back, and everything was just magic. And near-death people that have had that, they're like, yeah, this is pretty amazing. And so that's all you really have to fear at that part of it. Nothing. That's what I was worried about. Yeah, that's just what I'm going through, and Sally just laughing out like best friends, like, cause up there, we agreed, conspired to come down in here and do this Book of Enoch, and that's what we're talking about, the fallen angels, and of course now here we're like, do you believe that? And where we're at, but they came down into the men, and I was like, well, how did the humans get here to begin with for these angels to come in and do all this shit? That's in the film too. They talk about that, and it's scared of kids with the show. But that's us. That's a story of us, the fallen angels. We are the fallen angels, and we agree to conspire to do this, to put this one back here and come down here and terrorize each other, because it's pretty funny for the show. It just doesn't feel that way if you don't know that and you're worried about that show that much, which I was for 4 years. And I asked too. I was like, well, like Becky wants to know, like, well, what is God to you? And I was like, well, is it just all these kids up here around us in the pleroma? Then they're just kind of here zapping everyone. And no, that's the next realm above, where we come in here. But there are like 7 realms, and I experienced those in this, like, I don't know what the word is, but this dream. It wasn't just regular dreaming. It was, and this flow where you keep dreaming. So the one, the Godhead, started it all, becomes a 2, and then on down through the realms. And so but at that one, that we do this because we're everything. We embody all of the spirit realms, the Godhead. But yeah, as it splits, as those things split and they're interacting and experiencing stuff, then those are the other realms. And but here it's a pretty important one, because this is interact. Midgard, if you want to go into the stuff on the set, but if you're looking out in the light show, it's all symbolic. That's why Jesus spoke in parables. Para is outside, and the bull is the head. The bulls, the 2 bulls and the head. All creation stories, no matter which, after it's that they were twins, and then they got separated. So Cain killed Abel to come down here, but nothing really bad can happen to you here. It's the worst thing to happen. Is God just picks you up and you So that's where I found God on the set in me. It's in us, and so you tip of your nose, that awareness. You know, everything we've been taught about it is to prepare us for that idea that, you know, but how else would God really reach into the realm but through its creations, through all of the life, to observe it. So, yeah, I finally ran out of places on the set, Becky, to say, okay, I like this God over here. I was like, well, I like Hinduism. Yes, pieces of it. That's one message, right? All of those. And the Buddhist one, I was into that, all up in that stuff. And but if you anything out there, you start desiring it because you don't need anything from it. It's the samadhi illusion. Then you make yourself suffer because you want something to happen on the set, not aware that it has already happened. Funny from that balcony seat to see that, and you know, I was able to make peace with the ones that turn the screws on me, but it made me like that, and I had all these experiences, but that wasn't my forever land, you know? Forever land, little man. But it's a forever game that we dream each other and we experience with each other. It can be enjoyed, some enjoyable experiences, and then the shitty ones, right? The guy's a fucking asshole over there. But it's funny. It's all God just interacting with itself, and that's what God wants to do. Like way up there at that pinpoint, I got up there once and a couple up real high, and it's a little bit lonely at the very top, man. I had great girlfriends at Cornell, and we had a falling out. I'll describe all that stuff on the set. Fucks with you. See if you'll fight about that. But you know, she's cute, and her friend was cute, but you know, nothing really ever happened, or didn't happen the fire down below. So at a higher level, that's communicating, like, be friends, and we were great friends. Well, I did kiss Tammy frat party. Garrett was going out with her, but she's cute, man. We had that attraction. We just went for it. She didn't resist or anything, and but I was drunk as fuck, man. I was into the Russian, with the white milk. Those drinks, those go down fast. I wasn't prepared for that. So nice kissing, but then I had to turn over and just puke on the floor in the great room there at Sigma Nil. So yeah, no more fun that night, and be careful with that. So you know, there's the whiskey and there's the wound. Where the whiskey can bring out the wound. You can get rid of the whiskey, but the wound's still going to be there. So that's what we're going through here with Sean. It's the whiskey, but I know what the wound is. So I was like, I'm just going to drink with him until he can learn to not break the law and enjoy the whiskey, because that's fermentation. Fermentation, for the man. That's why that happens. Why nature does that to that fruit sugar, and your body knows what to do with it. But yeah, it can bring out the wound. I mean, we all know that. Oh, it's just the alcohol. It's just the alcohol. Blame it on the but now we can identify what that wound is, and that's what the alcohol's bringing out. So deal with the wound and enjoy the whiskey. And I was in the grocery today, and I was like thinking, well, Shell, because she went down that road, and it was the vodka was the catalyst for her. Zing. So I was like in the grocery, the Giant Eagle, and I was like, they sell booze? Because that was my spot, man. When I lived up over here for 4 years, up to my grocery, and they never had booze. I always had to go somewhere else for the booze, and it was always extra protected, And I was walking through there looking for it, and then I thought, oh, nope, there it is. Wine is fine. Jesus drank wine. And so just, sipping it along with these guys, but observing, So I wanted to be part of the crew. So when I said, can I finally stop eating and drinking alcohol? And this was the reason why. On the other night having pizza, and now today that's our thing for Shell night. We're gonna have pizza and watch the game, But really, spend time together. That's just on the set. Doesn't matter if we fucking play football. I was like, oh, there's one, maybe Notre Dame, and that good Florida team, but it's the shitty Florida team, and then there's the good Florida team playing somebody else that nobody cares about, right? So that's why that got snapped up, and that's why I needed to keep eating, just little bits, and so yeah, the diet's a part of that spiritual cleansing. That you don't need that in the samadhi. The spirit is coming in to be more present in our lives. Just so happens I get to be the first one through the gate. That's my role, and I chose that, and we all agreed to it to play this. So that's why my sister's like, "Come on, John, boy, get over there." Their habits, the goo, like that. We know, everyone knows that. Like, it's gonna get me. Just living with my sister, she noticed that in me. I'd be like, just clean that shit good, and so here I have my ultimate challenge in this age and this epic, and so making peace with all that. It's just hilarious though. It's like beer cans, okay, classic beer cans make sense, but then I go back up and it's just like, who knows what? Coke bottles and shit that just got thrown away. So I was like, man, I thought I had some cigarettes, and they're down under there. I found them. The first guy, he's like, things tend to disappear, and it's like this thing that comes out of the shelf, and it's just a corner, man, like a corner from hell. And I got the one today, and so I could move this stuff around, clean the table there, so when we're watching the game, we don't have all that filth right around us. But I know when Sean comes home, he's going and go do his thing, find his trigger. But the set will get increasingly ridiculous. I've been saying that for the light show out there, but it's going to get increasingly ridiculous. The real set, the real show, in our inner emotional bodies. So come on, man. Quit cleaning my really, is that really a trigger, Sean? Is that really it? And for everyone I'm working with, like, is that really going on out there? Right? Am I causing you all of these? But it's because that it knows it's starting to stir up the 9-6, and that ego doesn't want to go there. I mean, I know that, and I got to back off, go slow, and be gentle with that. I was up there laughing like a hyena from the balcony. I was just so excited to see that. So yeah, no. I think just becoming aware of it, that is it, and that sets the path that you find it. Ask and you shall receive. That's consistent, even on the set. That you can do that. You are God. You have that power of perceiving your world and enjoying it. That it is symbolic. And I think maybe my role is and then to be able to communicate that. If I had to stay grounded in earth, eat a little bit and drink a little bit, so that I could play this. That wasn't just. This is what it was all for. Those were just phases I was going through. Even with the slaughterhouses and all that. I mean, yeah, those animals feel it. It's horrible. We'll be corrected in time, but it's still that Godhead. Like, this is, playing it. It's a bad thing down here, and we should protect the children, and that means the animals too, and the life. But from the 9-6 spot, it's like, oh, that's just another way to get them to eat each other. Funny from there, because it's eternal and indestructible. So I mean, that's pretty creative, and playing that game with itself. And so like John, everyone, like little John boy, he's gonna, it's gonna get his goose. But if I didn't have this awareness at this time, yeah, I might be bitching, I might be going to whatever, acting as a child. But when you're a child, you do things as a child, and you do childish things. But then when you become a man, you put away childish things. So that's the 666 phase of this. That's when Noah turns 600 years old. That's when his grandfather Methuselah died at 969. Right? Didn't need the 969 anymore. Watching the light show, because that was in its sixth position, and so it's the balcony seat, catbird seat, walking out of Plato's cave. I said, where did I do that on the set? No, it's up in here, up and through us. That's the only way God could reach us down here into the set, is through us itself. It's life, to share this information and enjoy each other and help each other through this, and get the real joy of mankind, that we are alive. That's wow. And there might be something out there that you're like, oh, that's something I'd like to air on that set, but your 6'9" is howling with laughter, as a part of you, or looking at that on the cave walls, and take this real. We're goofing on each other down here. So with all that stuff in the media, also some instances, my set's changing, like that might, even my phone feed is like changing because of my perception. That's how strong that is. So yeah, the refrigerator's maybe not separate from me. I saw that, the blue light experience, that, oh wow, everything is just this light. The people, the donut box, fucking microwave, it's all made of this blue light. I saw it for a couple seconds. And then I snapped back into my reality and just kept bouncing along and asking questions. And so yeah. So but yeah, that tobacco interacts with the brain, the nicotinic receptors in the brain, and I think it's for this thing. Anything in the samadhi will either resonate and be a good thing, or will conflict and be a bad thing. So cooked food, a bad thing. But if it's your mechanism for sharing time, the life in you, that love and helping that support, and then it could be a good thing. But if you overdo it all the time, yeah, that's what will happen. You'll get symptoms, and that set will take it out, clear the set, right? Update the set. So yeah, we don't. The hospital. We've just been trained to run to the hospital to heal ourselves, and you're putting something above your maker. That's what heals. Well, yeah, there's consequences for that. Pharmaceuticals, it's clear in the Bible, pharmakos, from the Greek, that's a sorcerer. So yeah, that's what on the set. It'll suppress the symptom, might make it move around, but it doesn't go. It just pops up somewhere else. But yeah, you're your own healer. If you give your 6'9", it will heal it. Anything. We covered my mother a bit, but that care worker's like, I've never seen anyone come back from her condition. But I got that information, and her 6'9" healed her back. So there's proof right there of that. And so anyway, I guess I'll just give everyone an update and go back to my I was grinding pretty hard last 2 days. Today I'm like, can it resolve now? And get back into my reporting mode. But yeah, today's a pretty good day. I'm really tired yesterday from all cleaning and just going through this process. So yeah, that's to deliver the the good news that it is exists. God's not just a belief, right? The L-I-E is in that word, and it is us, and we have that power. It was us all along. So yeah, Age of Aquarius, that's the waterfall. There's some tears involved in stepping out of the cave, because those wounds were very real. But that was to play the game at that level, and that's why I wasn't allowed out of the cave. I kept asking and said, just go get a good story, so you'll be able to share, and we can figure this out together. That's the real joy, when we have that awareness. Now we're not getting mad at each other and pounding each other, and it's funny from the balcony, but you can suffer in here, right? Of course. If you had a parent that left the set too early, I did, and it was the worst thing that possibly ever happened. My dad was the center of everyone's universe. I noticed growing up that all of his, he had like couple dozen, he was their best friend, and there were ones that he was their only friend. He was their quarterback, and those friends were friends. Then they had their squad. And when my dad went out, those friends that were friends, they kind of just drifted apart because he was that linchpin. And he touched everyone. His funeral, it was just mind-blowing that he cut across all classes of these roles. There were lawyers and judges and doctors, and then there were cafeteria workers, and anyone he interacted with, was there. The caravan, as we left the funeral home to the cemetery, the limestone there, it was all the way. And my stepfather, with the lawyer downtown Springfield, he saw that, how long that was, and him and my dad were bickering down here on the set, with my mom and things that had happened, but he told me that, and made me feel, wow, of course, I told tears just from on down here on the set. It was absolutely devastating, to have to go through that, but 6ix9ine make peace with that to play this, what that was. I mean, I had cried him out, I thought, but then I was talking with Nick, like, I don't even know how many months after, like 6 months, and something came up, and Dad came up, and it's like embarrassed because I'm crying in front of my cousin, but to be expected. It's not just one. There's waves, right? We know there's waves, so that's what we're seeing here. First wave, and the second wave. Second wave's a big one, yeah. And so, Christy, Doug Knopp's white person. I was thinking, gotta get these messages out. But I remember, I was like, Doug, a lot of my friends are not on here. So, but if someone's talking about you, your ears will start tickling. So you see this, and pass it on, and we could share these stories and enjoy, and the struggle in the families. The biological ones down here, right? There's you're worried about them, and you want that for them, and you're projecting on them, and they're playing that whole game. I attempted to sidestep all that bullshit, but nope, they found me, right? I got my family here, squad, and so that's the real parental-child relationship here, is the close-up one that we can really enjoy, but it's still going on in our energy and the spirit. I don't know, like, just to preview, Doug, Garrett, me, and Masterson, we drove down to Mardi Gras. We didn't even think were allowed to, because we had football practice. It wasn't even football season. But as fate would have it, my guy on the football team, he was supposed to be my roommate. When I went there, but some got switched out. But Eric Bierke, and he's from New Orleans, and I'm going in for Mardi Gras. I was like, really? We can do that? He's like, yeah. I just told him, So we were like jumped in the beast mode, and we got our game plan together, and drove down there all the way from New York for Mardi Gras. And so I got those stories in there, and then even the next year we went again. Garrett pussied out, but sometimes Garrett's a pussy. Gee. But I see you guys. I love you guys, and we'll go back and laugh at this stuff, and the real joy. That was the real treasure of finding it's not that you die and get to go to some special place that's going on right now. That's all that's ever going on, is that awareness, the dreaming with your energy body, and then the heart to love, fully love, that, and let that be the dominant theme, and that fear part will put big peace with that, what you think you might be afraid of or that you don't like in your life. From the set, it's pretty funny, actually. So that's feels pretty good today, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Christine, tell Knopper, I'll pull up some of the Knopper files. Doug, Garrett, Masterson, see if you can share this. I think you can just click the share button and just text it. It'll bring it to this place here. I think that's pretty the way to do that. So yeah, so we're watching the football games tomorrow, right? The real football game was between the real bowl, the real secret cabal was that us. We were just up, down one more, all the way down. We got the popo up in here. this Airbnb is like a different people all the time, and sometimes they're different, you know. So it's just an interesting thing to watch. Oh, I was gonna come here. You're schizophrenic, or need to go to the. I'm not sure what to expect from the set at this point. But Popo's over there doing their thing. Couple of gals sitting there. I don't know what the issue is. I'll get a beat on that, and I'll report back tomorrow. Tribe, family, Jody, tomorrow just clear it out for me. I can't work. I don't have to work on that house. So beautiful day. I could head your way. And just hang and maybe do a live, and we can talk about, because we never got around. Sean was yapping. Couldn't really get into her story, Jody. So that's something you want to do, or just you and me, whatever you're comfortable with. I'm more than happy to help and be of assistance. I'm not chasing that pussy anymore. I'm waiting, observing until I'm ready. To really enjoy whatever that is next in that frame of my life. Like, Sean and I were the same. We're like, yeah, I had enough of that. I know what that is. All right, I'm gonna get a beat, get a little hungry, gonna go eat a little pizza here, and drink a beer, and watch football. But really, just laugh and enjoy. That was the real, the real commerce, is the heart, and that merce, and all right, everybody, I'll let you go. We'll sermon. What do you want to call this? Tomorrow, bring the family back together, because we got kind of zapped apart down here, and we're all scattered. And so the ones waking up and know that things don't add up on the set. And this is the reason why, because we're dreaming it, we're hallucinating it, and we have power over that. We're in a lucid dream, but we agreed to come in here and play it, that everything was out there and that we were separate beings. And that's a 2020 vision, and just enjoy this together. That's my real joy, is just share this, right? I was like, I'm just going to climb up the mountain. But it's like, no. So my little ego, too, down there always gets these good ideas. And then, the real thing comes through. So, all right. Can't wait to catch up with everybody. And just drop a line to me, or, we'll have that to reshare and then make new memories. And, when you pass through that gate, it's like when you walk into the other room, you forget why you went in there. It's because you went through that gate. You went through the birth canal, and you forgot what was back there, because you got to move some stuff around so you can have that new experience. So that's what that is. That's why the first thing in that, I was like, just the door, or where I got to go in the door, at both places. Symbolic. Yeah, everything down here is a reflection. It's already happened. So we now get to step back and get our vantage point, and that heal that, and improve your relations if they're strained. Get rid of the fear. Bounce that on out. Much love, everyone who's on this journey. That's what I'm doing, and I'm gonna keep doing it, because I'm fucking God. We went out. She's like, "Don't be saying all this," and that irritated the, Robin. I was acting out, but I'm like, funny, because it's irritating them. So pay real close attention to your triggers. You get the Jamie Superfly Snuka trigger. I shared that one story where I dreamt up the perfect crime, and it was pretty good. You don't have to do it on the set. But I had another one. I sat down on that with Sean. I had the chair wars, and he put the other chair on the back porch, and I sat down on it, and it was like, wasn't quite all the way flat, and I was like, like I might tip over backwards on my head. But I thought, well, you could maybe set that up and just as a booby trap, and then but that probably wouldn't be enough to take them off the set. So you need a little bit of something else. And I was like, well, you could do it. Come in Jimmy Fly Snuka style. Boom. I was like, no, then you would have a contusion on the front, and then on the back, and that wouldn't add up. A detective would see that. And I was like, the throat. The throat. I was like, no, same problem. So I said, well, what do you do? Just grab their head like a basketball and just give it the extra, just smash it like a watermelon down there. And then when they come around, you just fell off the chair, officer. These guys are going, oh, fun to play with the scare the children. If you're still scaring yourself, I was, with stuff out there, it's It's ultimately hilarious. It's all seeing eye. All right, well, see you on the next one. Much love. Hey, Jody, let me know. We'll be in touch. Okay.